Praggnanandhaa played a very nice move. He played queen f3, unpinning the knight. Now if you were to take the knight, he is simply going to take on f6, threatening a checkmate like this, and that is big trouble. So right now Levon is thinking what to do. He is in big trouble, and Praggnanandhaa can sense that the first win is incoming here. Levon goes back, rushes back with his queen, but now I think Pragg can go knight c4 with the idea of knight c6. He's already having great pieces on the board. Knight c4 is also very good, threatening all sorts of things here. Knight has moved up. Let's see what Levon comes up with. He has 3 minutes 54 seconds. And that's the thing about Praggnanandhaa, guys. No matter how much he gets hit, he always keeps coming back, and that we saw already in the Tata Steel Masters, where he lost 4 games, if I'm not mistaken, and he managed to strike back. Now rook a4 has been played. Look at Praggnanandhaa's focus, guys. He's just seeing it, that he can win against a great opponent, but no nerves. And this is what you have to learn. When you will start playing chess in tournaments and you get winning positions against good opponents who are higher rated than you, what you need to do is just not think about the result, but calculate all the possibilities in the position. Yeah, knight e3 played by Pragg, which is I think the most human move there. Bishop g6, Levon is like, I'm controlling f5 square. What do you want to do, Pragg, now? And Pragg has played his move. He has played here bishop f5, very good move by Pragg. He took knight takes, king h8, d6, pawn pushes ahead. If it's supported by the knight, if you take on f5, I take queen f5, threatening a mate here, so you can't take it. b5 by Levon. And Levon, the thing with Levon is that even if he gets into a bad position, he's always blitzing out his moves, so sometimes you don't know whether you are winning or not. But I mean, Pragg is such a strong player, he will figure this out. And Pragg has done it now. He's taken on h6, queen h6, there is queen f6. But what about rook d6? Can Levon Aronian wriggle out of this mess? That would be a Houdini-like escape. And Pragg plays rook to c8. Now the rook goes back to d8. And Praggnanandhaa takes on f7. Ooh, if bishop f7, I take here, it's a fork. So he took with the queen. And now rook d8, king g7 has been played. He goes queen d1. He is threatening this. But what about rook e4? That's such a tricky defense, because if you go rook d7, I have rook e1 check, and queen e1, then queen d7 when black is doing quite okay. But Levon goes rook to a7, stopping rook d7, and Pragg goes f3. Super solid, just limiting the bishop. Levon says, let me push my pawn as far as I can. How do we continue now? As white, he goes rook to b8, putting pressure on the b4 pawn. Maybe he wants to just get in with the other rook, or he thinks, let me go rook b1 and win this. Because not only is white exchange up, also this bishop is completely out of the game. He plays rook b7. He says, if you take, I take, I'll still be able to control. And then, what he wants to do is, he wants to take, put the bishop on f7 and put the pawn on b3, so the bishop controls it. But this is where Pragg is very accurate. He goes queen d8, he's threatening queen h8 mate, so queen takes, and now he has pressure here. What a move, queen b3. And what if I just enter your position on c7? Then he thinks he can get away with bishop f7 when the bishop is protected by the queen. Wow. You see guys, Levon is fighting till the end. He's put Praggnanandhaa in under 10 seconds, and although Praggnanandhaa is winning, the main thing is that he will feel the time pressure, and once that time pressure comes in, there can be any sorts of like perpetual checks that can come in. Bishop f7, and Pragg gets in. Rook to c7 here. So the thing is, you can't move the queen away because I'll take it. But I think Levon can go back queen e6 with the idea of b3. And Pragg has only 17 seconds to win this. Levon also going down under a minute now. Queen e6 has been played. Because then his b pawn becomes kind of, you can't take it. Oh, he goes rook b7, and what about b4, b3? Yeah, he pushes it. Queen to c5. Oh, he's planning rook b8 and queen f8. And Levon now has only 23 seconds left, and Levon plays queen e8, queen c7, now planning rook b8. So this pawn is controlled. You can't play b2. He goes king g6, king h2, just making sure that the king is put away so that there are no checks later which come in like this to the king. Prophylaxis. Yeah, this is high class play by Pragg. He's played this game well. Queen f8. Maybe he wants to come from this side. Again, it's like Levon is trying his best to confuse the matters. Rook b6, threatening queen takes e5. You can't take with the pawn because it's pinned. And Levon now has 16 seconds. He's going down below Pragg's time. Praggnanandhaa has 30 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oof. 3. He plays his move. And now the bishop is pinned. So take this. I think Pragg can win this pawn. Can he see it in 30 seconds? I think he can. No, Pragg goes rook b8 first. Oh, what? Queen is trapped? No, he goes queen a3. Rook b7. Oh, queen goes back. And now Pragg, what's the idea? Take now b3. Arey, take the pawn, Pragg. Rook b6 by Praggnanandhaa. Pragg is enjoying himself actually. Maybe he's put him in Zugzwang. Queen h8. There's rook b7. Now there's a mate here. So queen g6 defending the bishop. This seems like the easiest. g3. Again, king can't move, queen can't move, bishop can't move. Is Praggnanandhaa telling Levon that none of your pieces can move here, Levon? You can't do much. Before. Or take. Even taking is not bad. Taking there could be queen h5. It was g4. Keeps it closed. Now queen has no squares. b2 has been played. King h3. He's not letting him move at all. Because if king g8, there is rook b8 and queen f8. King h6. This point is if you take, I'll queen. I think Pragg can just take this pawn on b2, and that would, I think, force Levon to resign. Finally he takes it. Bishop c4. Well, there's a check here, but it's only a check. I can always move back. And he goes queen to b4. Bishop f1. Check. Oh man, why did Pragg? What? He takes this pawn? Wow. Check. King here. Check. Comes back. And then king f2. Attacking the bishop. And then he'll go queen d2. Exchanging the queens. And that should end the resistance. Yeah. Do you see how Levon has not given up until the very end, and he's going to lose on time? 1 second left. Bishop is hanging. Bishop c4. Take. Queen d2. Play queen d2 and just over. Well, if you take here unnecessary queen h2 stuff, and queen d2 has been played. Levon still not resigning. He's exchanged and a pawn down, and now threat check and mate here. Oh, he goes from this side because then there's no bishop f7 also. Queen g6, maybe f4, rook d6 with the idea of g5, bishop c8, goes rook e7. And there are some fortresses if you have a bishop pawn. There are some, but with rook c6, yeah, that's a nice one. So wherever he goes, you attack the bishop and then play d5. And Levon Aronian has resigned. Praggnanandhaa scores his first victory there. More than a smile on his face, it's relief for the youngster, and he switches off his camera. With that, Praggnanandhaa has won his first game of the tournament. It's a great feat. Let's have a look at the standings now.